Hello, and welcome to the Frostburg Experience. I'm JJ Jones. On today's show, we will be discussing topics of campus safety, small businesses in Frostburg, on-campus services, and the political nature of our time. Frostburg State University Police Chief Cynthia Smith will join us in the studio to tell us all about the university's public safety building. Chief Smith will also be talking with us about how the building will improve students' overall safety. Later on, we will talk with several members of FSU's Children's Literature Center to learn about the services it provides to the community. But first, let's take a look at some of the political uncertainties that our nation is facing and how they can have repercussions on our campus. With news about President Trump's travel ban, here's Marlon Pointer.
Recently, Donald Trump has been elected as the United States' 45th president. In Trump's first major act as president, he placed a travel ban on 7 countries that are predominantly Muslim. The ban possibly has the potential to impact international students at universities, as well as study abroad programs. Frostburg's Associate Director for International Education, Victoria Gerhardt, has discussed this issue with international students.
At the meeting, we had 3 responses from students. One student had felt that this is a good idea, having a ban because there are terrorists out there and it's a way to protect the United States. Another student had shown concern that what about England? There is a high concentration of Muslims in England. Will the U.S. put a temporary ban from visitors coming into the U.S. from that country? And then we had another student who raised the question at the end of her program. Her visa allows her to stay in the U.S. for a grace period. She was concerned, would she still be able to stay here during that grace period with the new ban?
Although there isn't certainty regarding the future of this policy, Frostburg's Vice President for International and Government Affairs, John Bowman, affirms that Frostburg is very welcoming to its international students.
Anything that discourages international students from coming to the United States, and in particular coming to Frostburg, is of course a concern of ours, because we know we are a very welcoming campus, and it allows us to help our students build some cultural competency. It helps international students when they come here to build their own cultural competency. So it's great for education.
For the Frostburg Experience, I'm Marlon Pointer.
Thanks, Marlon. Not only is it important to be well informed about these political issues as students, it's also important to be informed as citizens. When we get back, we will talk to Frostburg State University Police Chief Cynthia Smith on recent improvements involving safety on campus. And later, we'll hear about small business opportunities in the Frostburg area. We'll also hear about activities and opportunities available through FSU's Children's Literature Center. Please stay tuned.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Welcome back. We're joined in the studio by FSU's Police Chief Cynthia Smith. Chief Smith, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Whose initial idea was it to start looking for a new facility for the Frostburg State Police Department?
It was more of a situation than anyone's idea. When I came here initially in 2008, one of the things that I learned right away was that the University of Maryland system had told each of the presidents of the universities that they must achieve accreditation for their police departments by, I'm going to say it was 2013, 2014. I don't remember exactly what the time frame was. But they had to either achieve accreditation for the police department or explain why they could not achieve accreditation. When I arrived and looked at our old station, our old facility, it was really apparent to me that there was no way that we could achieve accreditation in that facility. The structure just wouldn't permit it. So even though we knew that, we brought on a consultant who looked at the building and basically said the same thing that we knew, but gave us a list of particular issues that the building would not pass. So from there, that gave us sort of the initiative to seek funding, and the administration did that. They went through the legislative process and got all the approvals, and here we are today with a brand new building. So it was really around the fact that the building that we were in was really not, we got the job done, but the building wasn't really conducive to a professional police operation.
I see. And what new improvements were you looking to have with this new facility?
It's really a matter of functional spaces, and the best way for me to explain that to you is just to give you some examples. In the old building, I don't know if you were ever in there, it was originally an elementary school. We didn't have an area where we could conduct criminal interviews. We were unable to separate victims of crimes from witnesses and suspects. Although we had secure areas for storage of evidence and property, they weren't very adequate. So we have improvements in all of those areas as well as others. And the other thing is, I mean, let's face it, as a university police department and as a member of this community, one of the things that we always want to be is very welcoming to our community, particularly our students. And I think if you walk up to the front door of the old place, or if you were ever in the old place, and now you come up to the new facility, I think as a student you would find that it's very open, very welcoming, and it feels very professional.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the new resources that campus police will be able to offer?
Again, it's when you look at the facility, if you are, say someone steals your parking pass, if you have one, and you come into the office to make a report, you now come into a nice professional facility. Now my officers can take you back to an officer's report area where you can sit comfortably in a nice environment and tell us about what your particular complaint is. So I don't know that it's necessarily something new that we're providing. It's just that we're now able to provide it in a much more presentable and much more professional manner.
Interesting. And I know you touched on this just now a little bit, but in what ways will Frostburg's community students and officers benefit from this building?
Well, let me start with the officers. You know, obviously I say it's one of the nicest workspaces on campus now. It's brand new. I'm very proud of it. It's the nicest, in my opinion, law enforcement facility in at least 3 Western Maryland counties, probably in the tri-state area. I mean, it's brand new. It was designed to be a functional law enforcement facility, designed to be durable, designed with ease of maintenance. So for the employees just working in a really nice functional facility. For students and for faculty and staff, it's to have that welcoming appearance of a building. And we're not done yet. There's still construction outside going on around the building right now. There will be some additional parking when they're done. I know parking's a huge issue. Yeah. So there will be some additional parking and some landscaping. But the other thing that's really important to me is if you think about a parent or a student who's considering Frostburg as an institution for their education, oftentimes the first stop they make is at the police department. They need a parking pass, or they need to find out where to park or how to park, or they need directions. And now when they come into that facility, I mean, that is going to send a really great first impression of what Frostburg's all about. as opposed to the old place, which even though my staff were very professional, the building just didn't say that to people. So for students, faculty, and staff, a welcoming building and just a very nice representation of what Frostburg's all about.
Nice. Thank you, Chief Smith, for joining us today. Now let's hear from field reporter Rachel Rochella, who's been exploring what it means to have a small business right here in the town of Frostburg.
Frostburg is home to many small businesses. They benefit our town by bringing the community together and providing a friendly atmosphere for newcomers. We spoke with the owner of Frostburg Fiber Depot, Jenny Clark, about the importance of supporting a small business.
Making the decision that, today I'm going to go down, I'm going to support somebody who's local and trying to make a living here in Frostburg. And that means, actually shopping local and not, okay, yeah, you can buy it on Amazon for $2 cheaper, but if you buy it in your community, that money stays in your community and it helps your community to grow. And it's a changing of your attitude, and it wasn't an attitude that I was as plugged into as I should have been until I opened a local business and had to, eat and stuff because, from people coming in and buying from me. And that really changed definitely how I shop, how I eat, how I do everything.
Along with selling yarn, Frostburg Fiber Depot offers around 9 classes per month that range from beginner to advanced. For more information, you can visit their website at www.frostburgfiberdepot.com. Clark touches on how Frostburg helps bring in new customers.
Frostburg does just an incredible amount of stuff to really boost kind of community involvement within the stores and kind of drawing people into your business, bringing new people in, and that's really helpful.
With a variety of small businesses, the Frostburg community has many options to support our local owners. We encourage students, staff, and the local community to explore Frostburg's local businesses. For the Frostburg Experience, I'm Rachel Rochella.
Thanks, Rachel. Showing support for our local businesses will only help Frostburg continue to grow. When we get back, we'll be speaking to several members of FSU's Children's Literature Center. They will talk about the office and how it benefits students of all majors, as well as some of the events they sponsor in the community. Please stay with us.
The pain will not control us. It will never break us, define us, or keep us still. Because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up at bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to the show. I'm now joined by the Associate Director of the Children's Literature Center, Dr. Barbara Ornstein, and by one of the center's graduate assistants, Shanoa Zace. Dr. Ornstein, how long have you been Associate Director for the Children's Literature Center?
I've been associated with it for about 28 years, but Associate Director for about 25.
When was the CLC first introduced, and how did it evolve into this resource we have today?
Okay, it was established by Dr. Bill Bingman,
who is still the director, even though he's been retired for several years, in about 1982. And he wanted to create the center. He worked with Dr. Tom Pallardy to honor 2 retired education faculty members and started this to honor the 2 retirees.
Okay. Shanoa, working in the facility every day, how do you see students using it?
There's over 10,000 books that are in the center, so they're always coming in and checking out books or just asking Dr. Ornstein or Dr. Bingman or us GAs about things that they can use the books for, or how they can use them in the classroom, or what other books can they use, or even if they found the book, sometimes we're like, have you also heard of this book? We have it right over here. And so it's just so many different options for students to use.
Yeah. Dr. Ornstein, how has the CLC impacted your students?
Oh, well, most of our students are early childhood, elementary, middle school that utilize the collection, and they can integrate it into all their lessons out in the schools and their internships. We have children in reading clinic. Shanoa is getting her master's degree in reading, and she works with children in the reading clinic and teaches lessons with the skills utilizing those books.
What kind of relationship does the CLC have with the community in Western Maryland?
Oh, well, we're one of the only centers of its kind on the East Coast that's left, and the only one in the state of Maryland. But we have a wonderful relationship with the community. One of our programs is the Adopt a School program, and every year we adopt a local school, every 2 years actually, a 2-year cycle. And then we bring authors and illustrators in to speak to the children free of charge, and monthly visits from the CLC staff to do read-alouds on different themes. We just did one, our current partner is Bel Air Elementary, and we just did a read-aloud of all of the books for our upcoming event that Shanoa will tell you a little bit about.
Awesome. Shanoa, can you explain some of the events that the CLC sponsors?
So along with the Adopt a School, we also hold different community events that are free to anybody who wants to come and join. So there's Storybook Holiday that's in December, and then Harry Potter Night, which is in February. And then in the summertime, there's Pirates Ahoy. And then there's also events that we hold more for adults. So the CLC Book Award, where we award a book with courage, love, and compassion that we vote for, other people nominate, and we vote for who wins. And the festival, which we're having at the end of this month.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I just want to thank you both for joining us today. I always enjoy hearing about a new resource that Frostburg students have access to.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have. A special thank you to Chief Cynthia Smith, Dr. Barbara Ornstein, and Shanoa Zace for joining us in the studio today and sharing their knowledge about public safety and the Children's Literature Center. I thank you as well to field reporters Marlon Porter and Rachel Rochella for both of their stories. I'm JJ Jones. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to catch the next episode of the Frostburg Experience.